Vic, you're acting like an old man again. Krista whined, tossing her hair the way she always did whenever she wanted to fight. And you're acting like a teenager, I shot back, trying not to raise my voice but failing anyway. Krista had just turned 33. I crossed 43 months earlier, we'd been married 5 years, and only lately she'd started grousing that life had gone beige. That we never hit fun places anymore. To her, fun places meant neon-soaked dance clubs and sold-out arena shows. I preferred movie nights, grilled steaks, and not blowing half a paycheck on bottle service. Until recently, the age gap hadn't felt like a canyon. But suddenly it did. Krista hadn't worked in years. She rented out a studio her grandmother left her and lived with me in my 2-bedroom condo. The rent checks covered her manicures and yoga pants. Anything bigger, designer bags. Splashy vacations. She fluttered her lashes and asked me to chip in. A little, I didn't mind. The tenants kept the cash flowing. Then one month she started asking for real money. For digits at a time. I figured the renters had bailed, the unit sat empty and she needed help until she found new people, no Vicky. Marriage, right? Still, her routine shifted. Whole afternoons vanished. When I called on my lunch break, she always said she was busy. Catching up with the girls. Grabbing ice lattes, whatever. Yet she walked through our door at the exact moment I got home from work. Or later, where were you this time? I asked one Wednesday when she strolled in after 9. Amanda and I had brunch. Victor, I'm allowed to have a social life, she snapped, rolling her eyes. The mood swings set off silent alarms in my gut. A week later, I had to drop paperwork at a notary near Krista's rental place. Paper signed, I should have headed straight back to the office. But instinct tugged me toward her building. Lights glowed behind her third-floor windows. Odd, because according to Krista, nobody lived there right now. Curiosity steered me upstairs. While I climbed, I called her. Hey, babe, where are you? At my place cleaning. Why? Oh, cool. Thought I'd swing by, I said, and knocked on the door before she could object. She opened up wearing yoga leggings and a nervous smile. The foyer smelled like men's cologne. I glanced down. A pair of size 12 Nike trainers I'd never seen sat by the welcome mat. My pulse spiked. I pushed past and spotted a 20-something guy at the dining table, leafing through a paperback like he owned the place. I was 2 heartbeats from accusing them of every sin in the book when Krista blurted, Victor, this is my half-brother Jason. He got kicked out of student housing. I told him he could crash here until campus sorts it out. So I paused renting the place. I meant to tell you Jason, brown hair, baby face, maybe 20. Stood and offered a handshake. I took it mind racing. Krista had never mentioned any brother. Step, half, or otherwise, but I was late for a conference call. So I slapped on a polite smile and left, promising myself a deeper dive later. Dinner that night tasted of suspicion. Krista, you never said one word about a brother. I started stabbing at meatloaf. We're not close, she shrugged. My dad remarried after the divorce, hopped out a bunch of kids. You know that? She sipped wine like it was no big deal. I nodded, but I didn't buy a syllable. Somewhere in a wedding reception, photo album set my father-in-law's phone number. He'd scrawled it after a tipsy toast about families staying connected. We hadn't spoken since. Perfect time to reconnect. The next morning, I called Richard Lawson. We chit-chatted about golf and bad backs, and then I dropped the question. Hey, Rick, how's your son doing? Jason, right? Dead silence then. Victor, I don't have a son. Krista's my one and only. My stomach turned to ice. So the brother was a lie as big as Texas. Friday afternoon, I clocked out early. Krista was at a birthday brunch. Lights burned in the studio, and Jason was lounging on the sofa scrolling TikTok. I breezed in, pretending to grab a box from the balcony storage. Bro, Krista said you're premmed. I tossed out. Closing the slider, he blinked. Yeah, premmed. Cool. I leaned against the counter, casual. Look, she'd never ask you herself, but she's been waiting months for meds to clear. Let's call it a stubborn STI. If you've got connections to samples, maybe you could hook her up. Color drained from his cheeks. Whoa, chill. I laughed, clapping his shoulder. Can't catch it off coffee mugs. You'd have to sleep with her. And obviously, that's not happening, right? Jason mumbled something, stuffed his charger and toiletries into a backpack, and bolted down the stairs like the building was on fire. I nearly pulled a muscle laughing. picturing the poor kid sprinting to the nearest clinic begging for blood work. Phase 2, Krista. No trickery, just consequences. I spent Saturday boxing her clothes. Shoes, skincare, everything, and lining the bags in our entry. When she waltzed in around 8, heels clicking, she smiled like nothing was off. Something like that. I folded my arms. Your apartment's vacant now. Plenty of space for you and however many broke college boys you pick up next. She blinked, confused. I added, spoke to your dad. Turns out you don't have a brother. Might want to refine the backstory next time. Color slid off her face. Tears welled, excuses tumbled. But I opened the door. Keys and ring on the table. Krista. Good luck brunching. Without a sponsor. She packed what she could carry, called an Uber, and vanished. Within a week, she was living in that tiny studio she once considered rental income, with no tenants and no husband. Cash evaporated. Resumes went unanswered. Long gaps on a CV scare HR. She tried courting new benefactors, but word travels fast. My buddies and their buddies knew why we split, and wealthy men steered clear of drama wrapped in Gucci. Last I heard, Krista was stalking. Shells at a discount store, saving tip money for rent. Instagram set to private. Meanwhile, I reclaimed quiet evenings and simple pleasures. Grilled steaks, Netflix, friends who don't fake relatives. If you stuck around till the end, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell, so you never miss another tale on epic cheating tailies. Stay sharp out there, because the truth always finds the light.